5:30 p.m., investigators with the Coffee County Sheriff's Department arrived at a home on Reska Run to serve a search warrant. Deputies found an occupied vehicle parked in the driveway and issued commands for the occupants to exit. Officials say the individuals refused to comply, and the driver then attempted to flee the property. During the attempted escape, the vehicle reportedly struck one patrol car and attempted to hit a second cruiser. At that point, 3 officers fired their service weapons. Authorities say no one was struck by the gunfire, and 3 of the 4 people inside the vehicle were taken into custody. TBI agents are now collecting evidence and conducting interviews as they work to determine the sequence of events before submitting their findings to the district attorney for review. Meanwhile, communities across Rutherford County are preparing to celebrate a historic milestone as the nation approaches America's 250th anniversary in 2026. Visit Rutherford has launched the Rutherford 250 Events Initiative designed to highlight local history, landmarks, and cultural organizations throughout Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and surrounding areas. Barbara Wolke with Visit Rutherford says the countywide effort will bring together museums, historic sites, and community groups to create a shared calendar of events honoring both the nation's history as well as Rutherford County's role as part of it. That's all for now. I'm Dalton Barrett, and I'll talk to you later.
The Good Neighbor Network, on air and online at wgnsradio.com. Rutherford County's most trusted source for local news.
This is Primetime Sports, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, WGNSsports.com, Big GTV, streaming video, and always at the game. The game. It's where you've had breakfast with the coaches for decades. It's the Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's. We'll sit down with the coaches to talk about their most recent games and the matchups ahead. Now, from WGNS and Big GTV, it's the Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner.
Well, good morning and welcome in to the Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, year 33. Going to wrap up today, or season 33. Wrapping up today and getting ready for a brand new year next year in spring sports and all the offerings that we'll have coming up. Our final show of the 2025-26 season. We go from the start of football season, actually the week before the first week, and then roll all the way through football season, basketball season, where we alternate girls and boys coaches, and then, well, in the spring, we invite coaches who want to come on, and we've had several coaches last week and a full slate this week. And again, I will tell you that the coaches who have been on or will be on have all been invited, along with every other coach in baseball and softball has been invited. And so this is who we have joining today. I'll tell you the lineup here in just a second, but the coaches that we've had on are the ones who responded and we got scheduled to be here with us on the show. So again, we'll be on for a little bit this morning. About 10:30, MTCS Cougar Corner will be on the air. And we're going to talk some baseball for sure today. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to catch up with President Matt Tiller just to talk about some of the great things going on at the school overall. The Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard today. There's so much baseball and softball, and we're going to work to get that on our scoreboard. I meant to do that one day this week, and it's just been so busy getting ready for basketball and the state tournaments that are in town this week for girls and next week for boys. And we were at the Murphy Center yesterday for the semifinals, the second of 2 for a semifinals, and the Blackman girls taking on Sevier County. Just a really tough day shooting yesterday for the Lady Blaze. They were, 1 of 11, 1 of 12 from three-point range yesterday. They just weren't falling, and 10 of 31 shooting overall. And the thing that kind of probably won them the game against Collierville was the thing that was really tough to overcome against Sevier County yesterday. Got out rebounded 32-20. So the final score was 34-26. It was a very low-scoring game. Neither team really shot particularly well, but Sevier County shot a little better. And that really was honestly the difference in that one yesterday. So it'll be Sevier County taking on Cookeville in the state championship game. So it will be a new state champion, as the three-time defending state champion was beaten by Sevier County just the day before when Blackman beat Collierville. So girls basketball season comes to a conclusion, and that was a very fun run for our girls teams and for Blackman getting to the championship game, and the Stewart's Creek Redhawks were in the sectional, and we had a nice long season there. Boys basketball gets underway next week with the state tournament, and our two Rutherford County teams will play on Thursday. It'll be Blackman versus Whitehaven, 9:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. So we'll be on around 9:15 or thereabouts on Thursday. And then Thursday afternoon, 4 o'clock, will be the tip for Eagleville in the state championship game, or not state championship game. A lot of people thought that could be if the bracket had worked out correctly, but it's Eagleville versus Pickett County. Both of those teams ranked number 1 and number 2 in the state. So they'll be matching up in the quarterfinals. Here is our list of coaches this morning, and John Dinkins and I are going to tag team today to get our coaches in and on the air. We'll have Eagleville baseball coming up here in just a couple of moments, followed by Smyrna baseball and Oakland baseball between now and 9:45. Then John will take over for Rockville baseball, then Rockville softball, then Riverdale baseball, and then it's Cougar Corner time. So I hope you'll stay with us here this morning on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, the swan song to season 33 here this morning on WGNS and Big G TV.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Insurance should be simple, not complicated. That's why at Rayburn Insurance, Agent Rick Hull cuts through the jargon and helps you understand your options clearly. He's committed to finding the right coverage that fits your unique needs and budget. Their team has been a trusted partner in the community since 1973. Ready to make insurance easy? Get with Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. He's ready to help you get the protection you deserve.
Since 1938, J. Mullins Jewelry has been Murfreesboro's trusted family-owned jeweler, helping you celebrate life's biggest moments with breathtaking diamonds, custom designs, and expert craftsmanship. From our first sparkle to redesigning Grandma's heirloom, we'll handle it all with care, quality, and honest prices big stores simply can't match. Expert repairs, one-of-a-kind creations, and service that feels like home at J. Mullins Jewelry, 1640 Memorial Boulevard in Murfreesboro, and mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSsports.com, and Big G TV.
We're back on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a wide selection of mouthwatering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings. Order your favorite pizza online now at sirpizzatn.com. Eagleville baseball coach Brandon Bassham joins us this morning. And Coach, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me.
It's absolutely wonderful to have you. You know, it seems like over the past 4 years, especially in one special week at the end of May, we've had a chance to really get to know your teams really well, which is a testament to what you've been able to do with very talented young men that have come in to Eagleville, which is also, and then that Todd guy, he's still hanging around too.
He is. We still have Coach Williamson, and glad we do. Yeah. He's probably out there mowing and getting the field ready for today right now, to be honest with you. So.
I'm sure you got to have good assistants.
Absolutely, for sure.
We were just talking about basketball season, and basketball goes from like November to now, and to me it's such a long season. And I think about baseball season, it's not a long season, but boy, you cram it all in.
We do. Like I said, we have really about 8 weeks to get 30 games in. I think I looked at the schedule this year, and it's 57 days from game 1 to the start of the district tournament. So like I said, you got really 8 weeks to get in 30-plus games, and as he said, trying to piece, put all the puzzle pieces together, and so excited for those basketball guys, but we're waiting on them, to be part of that piece too, as you said.
Yeah. When you are in this time of the year, you really can't schedule anything outside of baseball because weather comes in, you have to reschedule a game and bump it around, and then no weddings, no big important things really, right?
Yeah, that's what I tell the guys. You better leave Saturday and Sunday open, but also just have an idea. I said if we get weather or have to, just like this week, we moved the Monday night game that we hosted for sub-state basketball, we moved it till today. So probably at this point we need to take our old schedule and rip it up and print a new one and go from there, to be honest.
Yeah. And some years are tougher than others in terms of rain and storms and moving, and a lot of times you don't have control over that, because with outdoor activities, if there's any type of weather watch or warning, obviously, but after school activities are kind of nixed. So, you have to deal with the weather a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now we got a new weather system there at the school, and I think it goes off, if lightning's within 10 miles. It's a lot different than it used to be. So, maybe used to where you might sneak in a game or an inning or two. That doesn't happen anymore. And that's probably for best for safety precautions. But yeah, a lot of movement going on for sure.
We got a piece of that last year at Spring Fling and softball at Starplex, because the city had that system, and it's like, I think we could play another inning or maybe 2 innings here, but no, the lightning detection, which you're right, it's the safest. If it can detect lightning, then it's close enough by, but I would assume that those are things that are probably going to become very popular for those schools that don't have one of those now.
Yeah, I would say we'll get to a point where everybody has those, and some schools use 10 miles, some schools use 8, but yeah. I'm sure that will become whatever rule that becomes, it will become consistent across the board.
Yeah. Does it alert you on your phone? It does.
Oh yeah, on the phone, and it's a pretty. It almost sounds like a tornado siren, to be honest with you. So
really,
it's loud. Yeah, you definitely can hear it.
Okay, so you get that alert on your phone. Does it happen even when you're not playing a game?
I think so. I don't know. We haven't been in that spot yet. It's new, so we'll figure it out.
You'll be at home on a Sunday and that happens. But anyway, so coming off of, you've had some practice with this, obviously, in back-to-back years, but coming off of another state championship run, did last year surprise you a little bit in terms of how well those guys came together and when they did? I'm sure there's at some point in the season you said, hey, we've got enough moxie to do this.
Well, to me, last year was the most improbable of the 4, if I can say that. We lost 6 starters that we had to replace. And there were some tough position battles between seniors and underclassmen. And those seniors just kind of took it and ran. And like I said, we started 1-1, and the one was a 10-run rule at Cascade. I think I came in the next day and did a radio show.
You weren't happy.
I was no, not at all. And at that point, literally, I told my wife the night before, I said, I don't know if that was just a bad night and what we needed, or we're just not very good. And I think we ran off 14 in a row after that. So, of course, when you run off 14 in a row, then you start thinking, okay, maybe we're a little better than I think we are, or that we can be. And then I thought we had hit another little low, honestly, kind of the end of the regular season, and even to start the district tournament. And then somewhere kind of there in the district tournament, maybe the end of the district tournament or the region tournament, we kind of hit another spot where we just started swinging it really well. We looked confident. We were playing great D, and it's just one of those things, I think, where they believe that we can do it again. And again, the state championship run, we were down 6 runs in the semis, score 7 in the top of the 7th, and then, kind of give up a 5-1 lead in the finals, but yet find a way to score in the bottom of the 7th to win it. So, again, and we always talk about that, success breeds success, and those kids just, I think made a commitment that we're not going to be the team to break the streak and keep it going, and that's what they did. So just so proud of that team, and it was just a priority to them and what it meant to them, and those were Eagleville kids, and Eagleville meant a lot to them, and the streak meant a lot to them, and that's what we're trying to get. And it's tough, there's no doubt, and then that's what we're trying to do again with this team that we have now.
It is an extra burden and a heavier lift when you have that. And so this year's team is playing with a little bit of that lift, to live up to some very high expectations, which probably is unfair because it's a different team, different personnel. But how is this bunch handling that?
Well, we're 4-0, so we're off to a great start. Now, I'm not sure it's been perfect or real pretty at times, but again, we've had kind of a weird off season. We had the ice storm, we've been through a flu outbreak, and we've got some guys that are banged up and injured, which we hope to have all back by May when it counts. And then we talked about our basketball guys. We have 6 on the basketball team that are still out, so we're literally trying to put puzzle pieces together. But it's not something we talk about a lot. We don't have to. They know the signs are there. They've been to the ring ceremonies and celebrations, which are all great. But we just want to get better today. Is what we keep talking about. Just be part of the process, and our step number 1's win the district regular season and be the 1 seed, and then from there try to win the district tournament. So we just got to kind of trust the process, keep getting better, and so far these kids have handled it, and we'll have another tough one today when we go out there and play Spring Hill at 1:00. That's
going to be at home today. We're going to talk more about your personnel, and it sounds like though at least 6 of those, and when you start talking about numbers, and especially when you talk about people who can give you an inning or 2 on the mound, those are important guys that you're going to need to get into the mix as soon as their basketball season is over. But you have to manage around that and manage around other things like sickness and injuries or things like that. So I don't want to say a mash unit, but you've kind of had to put some people maybe in uncomfortable positions, but that's only going to help them down the road.
Absolutely. Like I said, that's going to be the tough part when we get the basketball guys back is trying to get the right pieces in the right spots. But like I said, we had a couple guys last night probably get their first varsity action. That were probably just they just dressed out a year ago and then they handled it. So that's those are some positives, like you said, that I hope down the road can help us.
Brandon Bassham with us talking Eagleville baseball. Drake Reminiski last year, John said we were doing a game and he was coming in and he said, "There's the wild man," something like that. And Drake seems to be like the fun there in the dugout. So it probably drives the coach wild, huh?
Drake's an interesting character. Seems like most left-handed pitchers are, but like I said, he's done a really good job for us this time. In fact, he's swinging it well too. So that's been a good surprise, and he's thrown well in his couple outings and playing outfield. So, and we talked about from a year ago, lost 6 starters again, actually 7 when our second baseman moved to Utah. So, I said it's a lot of different names. Really right now, probably Gleason's the only one that was a starter every day a year ago. Because Adrian Severi still in basketball. So that's the 2 guys we had back that started just about every day last year. So, names you've seen like Drake Reminiski, Wyatt McDougal, Jacob Sweeney, some of those guys that you've seen either pitching, pinch hitting, those things have had to step in and take permanent roles, and they've done a great job so far.
Yeah, and it's left-handed pitchers and catchers, right? It's like kickers in football.
Yep, that's it. It sounds like you've got it.
Yeah, been around a few. Coach, this this time of the year, having to put them in these situations, though, will give you the opportunity to see what they have when you have to put them in a situation where you've got to get through an inning to get to your closer or something like that down the road, or you need a pinch hitter and you know who you're going to kind of go down the roster and look for, right?
Absolutely. I said that's the tough part. You got 29 guys and 29 different roles, and you know everybody might not be happy with their role, but if they can accept it, understand it, and run with it, I think that helps a team. So I said that's still what we're trying to figure out. And again, just so many people right now getting playing time, I think will help us. Whether it's maybe in the JV game or varsity game, and again we talked about maybe we get some of those basketball guys back, like literally their bullpen might have to be like live, maybe if it's not even at 100%, hey, go out there today and give us whatever 25-30 pitches. Like I said, just get yourself ready as we go down the road and made it to help us and be ready and be the best Eagleville baseball team we can be.
And it's going to take several weeks to get them maybe a month, honestly. Right.
I mean, here's what's crazy. I mean, if you get them back after the 21st, again, district tournament starts April 28th. So literally we have 5 weeks to get them ready and have all the pieces together. So, that's going to be tough, but I think the kids seem like they're up to the task, and, they've worked hard and done everything we've asked them. Just like last night, Gleason goes 4 innings, goes 73 pitches. He wants to go another one, which I love and I get as a competitor, but we talked about it. Hey, it's still early. Again, we're shooting for that district tournament late April, early May, and so he agreed to come out, and McDougal came in and closed it from there.
Where would you suggest people, and I've been asking our spring sports coaches, because schedules change, games have to be moved up, we're trying to beat the rain, we're going to play at this time or that time, where is the best place for fans who of Eagleville baseball to go to figure out when you're playing?
We have a Twitter that's pretty consistent. I think I do a good job too of updating it on the school website, but probably our Twitter handle would be the best place. It's usually updated pretty frequently, so that'd be the best place to go. Like I said, to get up to date, or the latest update on the schedule or games or whatever it may be.
And that's Eagle Baseball TN, right?
That's correct. Yep, okay. That's correct.
Eagle Baseball TN. So follow that. I'm asking for the fans, but I'm also asking for myself because it's always like putting together puzzle pieces, honestly, when you do a spring sports broadcast schedule. So I can only imagine what it's like to be a baseball coach. But beautiful day today, so get out if you want to come out about, 1 o'clock?
JV at 11, varsity at 1 versus Spring Hill today at home. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So got a home game today, and then you're on the road for a little bit, looks like.
We are. Yeah, it's kind of weird how it worked out. We had this week all at home, and then next week on the road. So, but again, as you said, next week we've already moved Monday's game with Gordonsville for weather to Wednesday, and then of course Thursday we're supposed to go to Cornersville, and that game's been postponed because we have a really big basketball game at 4 o'clock against Pickett County at the Glass House. So some schedule changes already for next week. So as I said, take that old schedule, rip it up, and we'll get you a new one soon.
Absolutely. Well, Brandon, we look forward to getting out and seeing the Eagles this year, and good luck on this season. Hope it's another magical run here.
Thank you so much again. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Brandon Bassham here on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
Been coming to them ever since he opened up. Good family. I recommend other people to get them repaired here because I knew they would do it and do it right. Been happy to send people to him because I trust what he does so much.
We're crazy about him. It's all about the doctor.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
In Rutherford County, we need a sheriff who leads from the front, not from behind the desk. That's Kenneth Barrett, out on calls, side by side with deputies, tackling the tough stuff every shift. He's the working man's leader, supervising with sharp eyes, serving with steady hands, keeping our families safe. Born here, raised here, He's ready to protect here.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff. Treasurer, J.M. Stewart.
Parks Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
Whether you're buying or selling a home or commercial property, the auction is just so much easier, quicker, smoother.
My wife and I sold our personal home. Parks Auction helped us with that. The house brought about 20% more than we were going to ask for.
Visit parksauction.com.
Parks Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Parks Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com and Big G TV.
We're back here on the Coaches Show. This segment brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best barbecue ribs, local favorites like slaw dogs, loaded baked potatoes. I can go down their menu if you want, but just best yet, go on by on Warrior Drive, operated by Anne-Marie Brents and the Lanning family. It's time to talk some Smyrna boys baseball this morning. Mark Schildmeyer joins us. Coach, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning.
I said, you look different without a baseball uniform on and a ball cap and all that, but I don't know if you've got do you have a game today or makeup today?
Yeah, we are actually playing Oakland High School at 3:00 at Oakland.
Okay.
I saw Coach Hawks out in the waiting room, so we're both ready to go, I think.
You haven't exchanged lineups this early though, right?
No, and I still got to write one up. I did write one out before I left the office last night after our game, but I still need to put it on our official lineup card, so it is drawn up. We know who's pitching. We know what the batting order is. Just got to put it down and make it official.
What year is this for you at Smyrna?
This is my 5th season.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Gosh, time flies. You came from the Memphis area,
yes,
if I recall right.
Yes.
And to Smyrna. What do you think about Middle Tennessee?
Love it. You got to compete every day. Yeah. There's no. But don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good baseball in West Tennessee, but you don't have to go very far to go and find it. So, finding that right mix of the schedule of, what you guys need to get better can be a challenge, because you might be like, hey, you might try and say is like, hey, try and set this up and have your kids have a game where they feel good and competitive, and you're going to find a good arm. You're going to find good bats just wherever you go around. So
isn't it strange that in one county, in Rutherford County, if you put the nearly dozen schools together, just the sheer talent that's here.
Absolutely. We picked up a game with Siegel on Thursday night, and they are a very, very talented baseball team. I know that. Blackman has a bunch of arms. I know we're going to have our hands full with Oakland today. Just keeping up and seeing who everyone's playing and how they are doing across the county is just very impressive. So it's definitely a region. It's definitely a region to keep your eyes on.
And a region that typically gets a team or two in spring fling and a team or two that competes. And, Siegel winning it all in 16. You have Eagleville, who's won, back-to-back here. So that's a pretty high aspiration, but it's everybody's aspiration,
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Even though, we're still kind of in the rebuilding process. That's not something that we don't talk about. Is we have our goal this season as a team is to make it to the region tournament. We talk about how we got to get there. We got to be one of the top 2 teams out of our district tournament. Definitely like the position that we're in with a 4-team district as opposed to the 6-team. That's something that we were just talking about before we got on air. Is I think that better simulates the 3-game series. We do have our senior class. We do have a handful of seniors who did go to the sectional with us in 2022 or in 2023 actually, and in my second year as head coach, so they've experienced that three game series. That's what we're trying to get back to in our district games. We actually are trying to simulate a 3-game series with Central Magnet this upcoming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I
saw that.
The weather's going to be cold on Monday, so it might be a good setup to where I think we're thinking about doing a doubleheader on Wednesday. And we'll see what we do with that Tuesday game. But that's really kind of how we're approaching the season. We're telling our guys is let's not, if we're going to take one day at a time, but we're trying to piece together our games in threes, whether it's the same opponent or different opponents, and we want to see how good we can be in a 2 out of 3 or just that 3. Are we able to find a way to get 2 out of 3 games in pieces throughout the course of the season?
Grand Slam, talk to me about that. That's something that's, I'm sure when you got here, it's like this is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, especially with them moving the season up a week and the ability to add a 2-week tournament that only counts as 3 games. We started this. We're going to go four games last week. For this week, we got off to a good start last week, and we managed to go 3-1. Which is the best start since I've been the head coach at Smyrna for me personally. We went 1-1 and split the Monday, Tuesday. I get an email on Wednesday morning that comes across that Coach Revis is looking to pick up a game. Kind of felt a little crazy and be like, hey, we don't know what this weather is going to do. And we went ahead, played them Thursday night. We got a good game in last night, and now we're playing Coach Hawks today at 3. So, we definitely needed to see what type of depth we have in our bullpen. We have to find those things out. I know it can be frustrating probably to fans and parents, and sometimes they might want us to go out there with being 100% and our best, but we have to know what everybody on our roster can do to develop those roles and know what type of position that we have. We don't know if our closer is going to go down because we currently are missing two arms that we were expecting a lot of for this season. So the fact that we've gotten off to our best start, and they're not done for the year, we'll have them back within a few weeks. So the fact we got off to one of our better starts is pretty exciting, knowing that we're not at full strength.
We've got Mark Schildmeyer here talking Smyrna baseball this morning. You've dipped your toe into the, I guess, region waters going into this season with the 4-team districts. Did you reach out to the other schools? I know, like basketball, they decided they were going to play at least one game against all the other schools. Or, I mean, how did that work for baseball?
I think with there being the section, I think the 3-game series is something that it's just getting more popular in terms of, I think the reason why we didn't do it last year was the whole cookful aspect of it. Yeah. It was more so, it was like, with the travel, no one was really going to want to make that overnight. And so with everyone being close, there's just whenever you're coming up with the bylaws for district, the tiebreakers can be a list of 5, 6, 7 different things, to where now if you play a 3-game series, it's who wins head to head, and you kind of figure it out.
Nothing worse than a coin flip.
Yep. Yeah. You kind of avoid that. And you don't leave it up to one game. I know whenever I was in school, you play your district opponent twice, but you only counted one as the district matchup. So and that's kind of what's different about the state of Tennessee too, is that every district is able to come up with their own way to send their top 2 teams into the region.
Do you have a regular game or maybe even a mini series or something like that with the teams in Rutherford County that are not in your district? Did you put them on your regular schedule? I know you played like Siegel and Oakland here in the Grand Slam, but are they in your regular season at all?
We play Rockville a week from Monday. We play Oakland today. We have them scheduled. It's something. This was the first time that we've scheduled Siegel, and we typically have Riverdale on there, to where we keep that within county and try and keep that travel. Just by chance, though, I think everyone trying to find games, adjusting, trying to stay under that 30-game schedule limit. But there's always going to be at least 2 from the other side that we're going to wind up playing.
Well, I looked through some names who have had good games for you here of late, and honestly, I see some that we were able to see last year, and so you're seeing some maturity come through your program now that maybe you didn't have when you started a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So we only graduated a handful of guys last year. We returned a majority of our starters. We returned a majority of our pitchers. So we felt really confident of where we were at. By district tournament last year, we were starting five freshmen. One of those is Jordy Edwards, who last night had a 3-for-5 game and really put us in a good position offensively. Coach Drayton's son is doing a fantastic job for us. He's a very talented player.
He got his athletic ability from mom. Just saying.
Chance Mosley has been one of our most important key pieces since his freshman year. His freshman year, he was our shortstop whenever we made that run to make it to the sectional against Walker Valley. I'm very proud of how he's matured as a young man, just in terms of attitude-wise. And how now with Drayton being there for us, it kind of gives us some more depth at shortstop, to where that transition is now we can use him on the mound more. So we're looking at using Chance as our number 3 starter in districts. He very well could be our number 1 arm, but we want to use him in the field and make sure that he's fresh, and the best way to use him to come back. So having Drayton being able to fill in at shortstop gives us a chance to move two really strong two strong middle infielders, and Chance playing second base, and get some starts on the mound. He actually came in and wanted the ball a lot last night. To come in and close. We went into extra innings. He's been dealing with a bit of a blister, so he wasn't 100%. But just the fact that he had the competitiveness, said, "Coach, give me the ball tonight," was something that every coach, I think, wants to see. He was down because we didn't come out on top, but just told him, I said, that's exactly what we need to see. The past few years, we haven't been able to have 4 innings of high pressure baseball, and the fact that we're getting to do that in week 2 on March 13th is going to make us better come May.
Yeah. The schedule changes, it fluctuates. I know that you're playing this afternoon at 3.
Yes.
Oakland.
Yeah, we're at Oakland at 3:00.
Okay. Where would be the place for Smyrna baseball fans to go to keep up with the schedule, the changes? This game's been moved up, or this, rescheduled. Where's the best place for them to see that?
The best thing to do is just follow Smyrna Athletics. Coach Pierce, one of our assistant soccer coaches, does a great job with our social media. Okay. We post our link. We have a game stream this year. The main that's where our game link goes out to, where if it's a home game, we got a full broadcast with an announcer. It's got the graphics. Okay. It allows me, even my parents who live in Memphis still, to watch every game. In fact, my dad hounds me. He says, "I need the app for the game." I'm like, "It's not an app, Dad. It's a link." But he was on me all day yesterday about it. It's like, "I want to watch the game. I need the app." I need that.
So that's Smyrna_baseball?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on X. So very good. Well, Mark, appreciate you coming in this morning. Always fun to catch up, and we'll see the purple and gold out there on the mound and at the baseball field here sometime real soon.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you. Mark Schildmeyer joining us, this head coach of Smyrna Baseball. We're talking Oakland baseball, the guy that Smyrna's going to take on this afternoon. Coming up after this.
When it comes to your child's health,
you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Game day is coming, and are you ready to represent the Blue Raiders? At Raider Tees, we've got the largest selection of officially licensed Middle Tennessee gear in town. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, even tailgating essentials. You name it, we've got it. No more searching through random stores. Everything you need is right here at 111 East MTCS Road, right across from MTCS. Get game day ready at Raider Tees. Bigger, better, and go blue.
Pizza. You in a hurry for dinner? Well, we've made it even easier to order online at sirpizzatn.com. Tap the location nearest you and begin your carryout or delivery order at sirpizzatn.com. You can choose from our full menu, and we'll take care of the rest. A Queen's Feast is calling my name. Order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com and Big G TV.
Coach's Show is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com. Mac Hawks joins us this morning, the head coach of Oakland baseball for many years. I wanted to say for as long as I've was at Oakland, but it has been that long ago. Mac, how many years is this for you?
This will make 37 as head coach.
37?
37.
How time flies.
It does.
Wish you probably felt like you did 37 years ago. How does this grind get to you?
Sometimes it does, but overall it's not bad, especially during the season. I enjoy the season. You know, the off-season things get old sometimes, but you know, once you start playing and competing, you know, it really goes by really fast once you start.
Yeah, I mean, it has to, just because of the number of days and the time, but it can be a grind, but if you love doing it, and that's what we're covering state tournament basketball this week, getting ready for spring sports for our broadcast schedule. Basketball season is long, but that was after we did 17 football games. But you concentrate on one season, and so even though it's long, it is what you've known. And
right.
Obviously, if you've done something that long, you like doing it. It's kind of hard to think about what you would do without it.
Well, yeah, when any coach will tell you, you coach because you love the game and you love being around kids and developing players, and when you've done it that long, I mean, it's you do it because you love it, and that's why every coach does it.
Yeah. You even have players that have played for you that are coaches and all over, head coaches. One just a few miles down the street with Brennan King, which I think is really cool, following in the family footsteps.
Yeah. Brennan was a really good player for us, and he has gone into coaching, and he coached with me for a while, and he's coaching his son, getting to do that, and that's I'm sure he's enjoying it.
I'm sure you get the opportunity to talk to former players pretty frequently, with as many kids as you would have coached in 37 years. It has to be rewarding for you to see them come back as a coach, and they share with you the family that they're raising, the job that they're doing, how they're contributing to the community. I mean, as an educator, that's what you want to see out of young people. And baseball is a thing that teaches you a lot of structure, and it's a game that kids love to play. But it has to be pretty cool to see former students come up to you.
Yeah, I tell our current players all the time. One of the most rewarding things about being a coach is seeing players develop, and guys that you've coached 20, 30 years ago, and seeing them come back and how they've grown into young men, and their jobs that they're doing. We've got players that are doctors or lawyers, coaching professional baseball. We've got just all kinds, teachers. Former players that are coaches. It's just great to see. Makes you feel good.
As you approach each year, to me, I think you kind of it was those teams in 99, 2000. You kind of set the bar high, and Rutherford County teams have been trying to step up to that bar ever since, and I think it's elevated baseball here in Rutherford County to we expect there to be a state champion or a state championship run from Rutherford County just about every year, and that didn't happen every year back in the 90s and early 2000s.
No, it didn't, and the quality of baseball has just gotten so good. I mean, not only in Rutherford County but throughout the mid-state. You don't see any bad teams anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's very competitive. Everybody's got good facilities, and baseball has just developed tremendously, since I started coaching.
What's the reason for that? Why have we seen, so many kids playing baseball and playing at a high level, and then it's like a facilities race to see who has the best of this and that, which we have the best in the state, if not country, in some of our high schools here.
Well, we do have good facilities, but really, you go everywhere. The facilities are pretty good. We're kind of the exception. Around here, you can't go to a field in Rutherford County really and play on a bad field. Coaches, work hard. They do a lot of fundraising for facilities. That's just part of the job that goes along with it.
That's probably a part of the job that is one of the toughest.
I think so. Definitely, whenever I'm done, the thing I won't miss is fundraising. I've had to do it over the years. It's just one of those necessary evils. If you want things and you want your kids to have the best, you really have to fundraise, and it's pretty much a year-round process. We start in August and go through until almost the next August, because we're hosting tournaments all summer since we have turf, and last year we had 100 games in the summer, we had 30 games in the fall, and all that's we're doing all that to help pay for our turf, but it's worth it. I tell you, it's really worth it. Having that has just made things a whole lot easier.
It probably I don't know if you had to put a percentage on it. What would you say that percentage is? The number of games that you were able to save or do despite the weather?
I don't know what percentage, but we don't miss many ball games. I mean, if we miss a ball game, it's usually because we just get so much rain that our outfield may be unplayable, which is very rare, or
it's actually storming during that time.
With lightning that you wouldn't play regardless. So, but as far as we've played baseball games and we've played through rain, so we don't miss many.
Talk to me a little bit about the 2026 Oakland baseball team. Basketball made a pretty decent deep run. I don't know if you had any kids that are playing baseball, and I know Brandon Bassham was talking about he's ready to get his kids back once their basketball season's over, but maybe just kind of take us through the infield real quick.
Well, as far as basketball goes, our basketball team did a great job. Coach Rutland did a fine job with them this year. We do have one player that played basketball, Lane Barron, who was a pitcher, and he just got back this week and actually came in and pitched last night and did very well for us against a really good Nolensville team. But we're kind of a mix of younger guys. We've got some guys with experience. We've got some inexperience. And, right now we're just trying to find ourselves, especially our pitching. Our starting pitching has been pretty good, but nowadays, you can't expect a guy, especially this early in the year, to go out there and give you seven innings. I mean, we're all on pitch counts. And, we're trying to find guys right now that can come out of the bullpen and give us quality innings out of the bullpen and basically do the job. I mean, but our starting pitching, I've been very pleased with our starting pitching so far.
Matt Cox is with us. We're talking Oakland baseball. The rubber's going to hit the road here pretty quick when we start district play, but district's a whole lot different this year. The region's a little different. You took on a Nolensville team that, very well may be there come sectional time.
Oh, Nolensville is very talented. And, we've played 3 teams over there in that area, and all of them are very good. But, our district is shaping up different this year, with the 4 teams with us and Siegel and Riverdale and Rockville, Blackman and Stewart's Creek, Smyrna and Laverne over in the other. But there's some good things and bad things about it. I always liked our district the other way, maybe a little better, but I do like the way that we do not have to play district games so early. We've got, basically a little over a month to kind of find our way and find our staff and our pitching, organize it and set it for district play, which is like the second week of April. And I do like that part of it.
I do think one thing that's changed spring sports is starting the first week of March. Because that's a pretty good gap. If you've got a basketball team, girls basketball, boys basketball that can make a pretty deep run, it's going to be a third of the spring sports season before they're back and ready to play. So, but playing earlier also means, with a smaller district, you can play those games later and still doing 3-game series.
Still doing 3-game series. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, like I was saying about Lane. I mean, he played basketball, but he's doing his pitching and his bullpens on the side. So, that really hadn't affected him any. He's just kind of like everybody else. I mean, he's still on a pitch count, and he's got to work his pitch count up. But as far as getting to work, he did that. He did a good job of that with him, doing it himself. But it's a process.
Are you going to see teams from the other district? I think you've got games coming up with Stewart's Creek pretty quick. Are you going to play the Stewart's Creeks, the Smyrnas? You were playing Smyrna this afternoon.
Yeah, we've got Smyrna today at 3. We've got a 2-game series with Stewart's Creek coming up next week. One of those games is probably going to get canceled on Tuesday, but we'll still be able to play the game on Wednesday. And then we got Blackman at the end of the month, a 2-game series with them. We play 2 games with Smyrna. We do not play Laverne, so just about everybody we're still playing like it was just like district play.
I think Blackman being in that other district is the weirdest of all of the things because we have such a history with Blackman. I mean, they're a rival, and they're in Murfreesboro.
Right. It is a little different for sure.
Yeah. But I think we're going to see plenty of those teams, and I think coaches are making sure that we do. Well, Mac, as always, appreciate you coming in. I know you've got a game today, and it's hard to catch you spring sports coaches to corral you to get you in and to spend some time, but we certainly do appreciate it, and always thank you for making some room for us when we come out and broadcast, even though you think we're a jinx.
Well, I think that changed last year because I think we actually won a game the day y'all were there.
I was trying to see if you'd remember that, before I made my first call to you. So you remember that. That's good. This is a new season, though. You never know what'll happen. Yeah. Mac Hawks, our guest this morning. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, and you guys are always welcome. Win or lose, you're always welcome.
We appreciate that so much. Great place to call a game. Great place to see a game. So if you want to go out and see Rutherford County baseball today, Smyrna's at Oakland. It's at
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. All right. Head on out to Mac Hawks Field. All right. Coach's Show brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
We fulfill all your tax preparation needs from individual returns to corporations and handle any of those scary letters you may get from the IRS.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Since 1989, Franklin's Printworks has been Rutherford County's trusted print partner, delivering high-quality, fast turnaround printing for businesses, organizations, and individuals.
Letterhead, envelopes, business cards, brochures, booklets, all that is still our bread and butter. We do it every day.
Jeff Carlton with Franklin's Printworks.
The needs have evolved for most businesses, and they're looking for a large format capability, or they're looking for a direct mail capability. We're glad to help with those.
Franklin's Printworks, your local printing experts.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
And this portion of the show brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Alex Williams, Ron Reeves, and Emerson Williams. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. John Dink is here for the middle portion of the program, and we have Shay Deal with us, and head coach of the Rockville Rockets. And we've been reminiscing back in the lobby there. A lot of Laverne roots for you and me, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's where I grew up. It's that area of town. We were talking about where we lived and all of that, but it was there was a lot of good baseball played back then, and I talk about it all the time at school with the coaches. I was fortunate enough to be around a lot of good men when I was growing up. There was a lot of really good coaches that came through there, not necessarily that coached me, but were in the building with us and knew who we were and came to the ball games and kept eyes on us and basically taught us how to be men. So I was very fortunate to be around some good people growing up.
Yeah, you name dropped a few people,
Yes,
and gosh, you really have had some good experiences with some really good leaders.
Yeah, like I said, Coach Wortman was there, John Strickland back in the day, Coach Willie was there, Alan McMillan.
Yeah.
So all those guys, Coach Carson, all those guys were there when I was there, and of course I played for Coach Revis, and then even Hester and Guthrie and all those guys were there too. So it was.
I saw Will the other day, and it's so good to see him,
Absolutely.
and I'm glad he's back in Rutherford County. But you sit there and we talk about. I had nothing but great memories from Laverne, Absolutely. And I think you do too.
Absolutely.
I mean, they have a really loving, feeling for the city of Laverne.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like I said, I played there. We spent 4 years there. We were fortunate enough to go to state tournament while I was there, and then they won the state championship the year after we left. But even the 5 or 6 guys that I graduated with, and Coach Revis will tell you too, we were a big part in that, and I take a lot of pride in that. And my time there as a coach was very special to me. And every day when I walked in and I saw that state championship sign, even though I wasn't a part of the team, I feel like I had a big part in that. So it's something that I hold very dear to me. It's a place that's very dear to my heart, and the times there and the people I met while I were there are something that I'll never forget.
Coach Revis must have been really, really young when y'all won that state championship.
He was really mean. It was one of those things where but it was good for us. You know what I mean? It was good for us, and he was eager, and he was starting his career. But I tell the people now, 90% of the game that I know came from him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was learning just how to be a professional, learning how to handle pitching. I mean, because I was a sponge. I love the game of baseball. So when I was a kid, even when I was playing, I think that's what made me be successful. I wasn't always as big and strong as everybody, but just learning the game itself and the knowledge that he had, and even his father, when his father would help us some, we call him Old Man Revis, but Coach Revis, he taught me a lot about life too. I mean, I learned a lot of lessons, and like I said, we played a lot of baseball for him.
And we were out there talking to Mac Hawks. I mean, they're legends in this county,
Absolutely.
really.
They're legends in the state.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be around Coach Hawks my whole life, as well, because we played against them. And then I actually used to umpire some out there at Barfield, and his son that's now in pro ball coaching was playing back then. So it was in between innings, I'd find myself at the fence just picking Coach Hawks' brain and getting to know him. So I've known Coach Hawks since I was 14, 15 years old.
Well, I know Coach Revis had to be young because that would really make him old now.
He's getting on up there, but he was young. He wasn't much older than us, which was good because he was able.
Right,
he was
relate.
teaching us life lessons, and he was coming straight out of college, and they'd had so much success at MTSU with Coach Pete, and even though I didn't play for Coach Pete, the guys that I've been around with Coach Treadway and Coach Revis, all that knowledge and all that mentality spilled over to us. So Coach Pete, I didn't directly play for him, but I know the values and everything that he put into him.
I think in the off season I'm going to have a round table of coaches from baseball.
Absolutely. I've probably got some stories on all the old ones that'll be interesting.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little Rockville baseball. Last year was a tough year. Not going to sugarcoat it any.
Yes,
you had really a lot of young players.
Young players, yes, sir. The past 2 years have been a little rough, but there have been bright spots, and that's what we preach every day. And the little things win baseball games, and that's what we've been talking about all week. And any night, baseball's a sport like any other sport. If you go out there and compete and put yourself into position to win and do the little things right, you're going to give yourself a chance to win at the end of the night. We're
early into this year. How do you feel about this year's team in terms of some maturing that's going on?
Some maturing. We still got a lot of growing to go, but we're 3-6 right now. But we could very easily be 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the three of the losses that we had, we got beat. I call it a difference between getting beat and losing. We've lost 3 and we've gotten beat 3 times. And the 3 times that we've gotten beat, we've had runners in scoring position with a chance to tie the game or take the lead, and we didn't get the big hit or we didn't move the runner. And our pitching has been very, very good, but we just got to find a way to get that big hit and play clean. I call it play clean. throw strikes and make the routines, you've got a chance to win, and we've done that.
I guess if you look at it, if you compare them to the couple of years here, that's growth, because I know you were giving up a lot of runs last year.
Yes, sir.
And now to be in every game is a drastic improvement, I would think.
Absolutely, and we talked about this last night. It's good to be the hero, but sometimes being the hero is hitting a ground ball to second base with a runner on third with less than 2 outs. Sometimes that's the hero.
Is that the hardest thing to teach them, too?
That's the hardest thing to teach, just knowing the game itself and knowing that. And Coach Bartlett, who's with us, he talks about playing for the R rather than the name on the back of your jersey, and they're starting to buy into that. And it's a learning experience, like you said. You've got to learn the game, you've got to know the game, and you got to know the situation. And the games that we've won, we've done those things. The games that we didn't, we missed our opportunities. And when you look at it, like you said, we're in the ball games. It's just a matter of executing. It's a matter of execution.
You mentioned Bartlett. Gosh, that's another legend. And what kind of teaching tool is he for them? I know
it's not just for him. It's for myself. I tell the kids all the time, if I'm not trying to get better, then how can I push you to get better? Yeah. And just having him, and not only him, having David Looper in the dugout with us as well. Looper with the pitching, and the pitching goes back to David because he's the one that's sitting there calling the pitches. He's the one making sure they get their bullpens in. He's the one talking to them when they come off the field, because I was just a hitter and a position player, so pitching wasn't really my thing. And Looper takes it to a whole nother level, and having him back this year has been leaps and bounds. We're already ahead of where we were last year because Bartlett and I are not pitchers.
Yeah, so, I know you're glad David's back after what he went through last year.
Absolutely, and he's a blessing. He's happy to be back. We're happy to have him, but then again with Bartlett, it's one of those things where I can look at him, or I can even look at David and go, what would you do here? Mm-hmm. And they'll give me their honest answer instead of the answer a yes man would,
I want to talk about some of the players. I know. Let's start with pitching, and I'm running out of time. We reminisce too much, but tell us a little bit about your pitching, which is as much improved.
Absolutely. I have a senior, Logan Rhodes. He's probably our day one guy right now. He's a left-hander. This will be his third year pitching for us. He throws all 3 for strikes and competes every time he goes out. He's matured a lot over the past year, and I'm very proud of him. Also have a junior named Jacob Fowler, left-hander, who's done very well for us. He's had 2 quality starts. Sam Jones, another guy who actually started the Riverdale game in the district tournament last year and won for us. He's back on the hill for us and threw a good game last night. We just came up short. Zach Smith is another junior who has potential, throws strikes, and when he gets the mentality to learn how to pitch instead of just throw, he's a very good pitcher. Braden Sullivan, a senior, he came out of the pen the other night and threw 6 innings and like 75 pitches, which is a pretty good number considering down there, and we beat a good Tullahoma team, and he was the guy that came in with the glue of that. Max Neal, he's a sophomore. He also plays shortstop for us. He's jumped in velocity, throws all 3 for strikes. And then on the back end of our bullpen, we have James Vaughn, TJ Chase, Zach McDonald, and John Williams. All of those guys, when I give them the ball, I know are at least going to give us a chance to be competitive, and that's what it's about.
Infield-wise, let's go around the infield and the outfield.
Yes,
you got to hit, too.
You got to hit. Yeah. You got to swing it, and that's the name of the game. Behind the plate, we have Braden Sullivan and Santiago Alvarado, both seniors who are anchoring down behind the plate. At first base, we have Jacob Fowler, John Williams, and James Vaughn. All 3 of those guys I feel comfortable with throwing out there any night of the week. At second base, Sam Jones, who's been playing third base for us the past couple of years, but has moved to second to kind of ease up on his arm while he's pitching. At shortstop, we have Max Neal, who's a sophomore, who played a lot for us as a freshman when Ty Newton was pitching. And then behind him, we have a freshman named Carter Stevens, who's going to be a great ball player before it's all said and done. And then at third, we had a guy move in from up north from Pennsylvania named Jansen Schweikert. He's a junior. He's doing a great job for us. He's defensively, he's jumped in and done the things we needed him to do. Behind him is Riley Fowler, who's serving as our DH most of the time now, but Riley's a solid third baseman, can play the game as well. And then out in the outfield, we have Tylen Green in left field, Elijah Littleton in center, And then in right field, we have Lincoln Simmons and Asa Jones who are anchoring down out there. And then I have a couple guys off the bench that can come in at any time and play a role in Zane Constantine and Owen Highnote. So I've got a good roster. I've got a good group of kids. Like you said, it's a lot of growing experience. We're in ball games, giving ourselves a chance to win. It's just a matter of execution and getting it done.
You know, you talk about 3-6 now, could be 6-3. That is so much better feeling than last year was.
Yeah,
I mean, in terms of growth and knowing you're in games, it's good to go to the ballpark.
Yeah,
and it's fun for them too.
You find yourself in the 5th or 6th inning and knowing that you're in a ball game, not looking to the next day already and not trying to figure out what you've got to do that night or the next day, rather than how can we win this ball game tonight. And that's really what it's about. And early in the year, I mean, you go back and watch any of those documentaries on the Red Sox or any of those teams that make runs there late and win championships, they all struggle during the beginning of the year. Not necessarily struggle, but they face adversity, and we talk about adversity all the time. And when you struggle, that only makes you stronger, because you learn. If you can truly learn from your mistakes early, in the end you're going to give yourself a better chance to win. So it's not great that we haven't pulled off those extra 3 wins, but in a way it's good for a learning experience, because now you're truly seeing what it takes to be successful.
You know, Shay, we'll be out there. I'm pretty sure pretty soon. It's a 3-month really period,
yes,
but gosh, you're gone all the time.
Yes,
I mean,
we've had 2 nights this week where I think it was midnight before I got back to my, I guess it was Tuesday night. We played 10 innings in Tullahoma, and I was eating a ham and cheese sandwich at midnight, standing in my full uniform, eating a ham and cheese sandwich before I went to bed. So
wow.
It's late nights, but I told the boys when we left on Tuesday, I said, be on time in the morning, because if you're fortunate enough to play college ball, you're going to ride a bus till midnight, and you're going to get up and you're going to go to class at 8 o'clock. So
absolutely.
That's how it works.
Coach, good to see you again,
yes, sir.
And we'll be seeing you soon, and good luck the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's Coach Shay Deal, who has got the Rockville Rockets in a much better position now, and I think they've got good things ahead. This portion of the show brought to you by Ideas Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com. We'll be talking Rockville softball coming up next.
Winners. In Rutherford County, we need a sheriff who leads from the front, not from behind the desk. That's Kenneth Barrett, out on calls, side by side with deputies, tackling the tough stuff every shift. He's the working man's leader, supervising with sharp eyes, serving with steady hands, keeping our families safe. Born here, raised here, he's ready to protect here.
I'm Kenneth Barrett, running for Rutherford County Sheriff, and I'd appreciate your vote.
Paid for by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff. Treasurer, Jam Stewart.
We're talking with Anne-Marie Brents at Rick's Barbecue on Warrior Drive.
Our sandwiches are very popular. Our pork and our chicken are probably most popular pulled meats. We have spare ribs. They're delicious. They fall off the bone good. We don't put sauce all over our meat.
And that's so you can choose mild or hot sauce or their signature white sauce.
White sauce is our special kind of secret sauce. It's delicious. It's kind of got a kick to it, but it's not too spicy.
Barbecue smoked chicken, ribs, loaded baked potatoes. Check out Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive.
Your home, your auto, together they're where life happens. I'm State Farm Agent Alex Williams. It's smart to protect them together to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-898-1150 and let me help you save by combining your home and auto.
Renters. When you combine State Farm, auto, and renters insurance, you will save money. I'm State Farm Agent Celeste Middleton, and I'd love to talk to you about combining your auto and renters insurance to help you save. Call me 615-895-2700.
Here's Marcia Saulfeld with First Mortgage, a department of First National Bank of Middle Tennessee.
Friday nights are all about football, teamwork, strategy, and moving the ball forward. And when it comes to your mortgage, I bring that same game plan to help you win. Whether it's buying your first home, upgrading, or even refinancing to save big. From first towns to first homes, and from refinancing to new beginnings, I'll work with you every step of the way. Call me, Marcia Saulfeld at First Mortgage, and let's open the door to your future.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NLMS 401715.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more at craigstaxservice.com. And we have with us this morning Perry Lyons, the head coach of the Rockville Lady Rockets of softball. And Perry, didn't I just talk to you about basketball just a few weeks ago?
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah, we just talked a couple of weeks ago. Yes, sir.
I was telling my famous story in the lobby today about how Pierre Lyons struck me out in a Babe Ruth tryout thing, and I gave up the game of baseball, and I went to softball. So anyway, I'll never forget it for sure. Coach, Rockville softball's always been the hunt, and I don't think this year is going to be any different. Tell us a little bit about how Rockville softball's looking for this year.
So far, I've been pretty pleased with how they're accepting coaching and working hard. I think we're 4-1 right now. Dropped one game 3-2 to Independence. It was a really good game. The girls are really buying in. It's going to be a fun season this year. I can tell the excitement in the county. A lot of good teams, and we're keeping up with what everybody's doing.
It starts with pitching, I guess, and tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll kind of talk about the position players.
Yeah, we pitch by a group. We have a group of girls that pitch. We got 4 or 5 arms, and we just rotate them in and out. But we'll go with our senior Caroline Stevens. She's been in the program for 4 years. Really tough kid. I think her younger brother's a freshman on the baseball team, so they have really good athletes. The Stevens family. Then we got Fiona Joyce, that's a junior. She's been in the program for 3 years. So both of those girls have pitched really well. And then we got a freshman, Jocelyn Wallace. She's come in and give us a lot of innings early in the season, and then we'll pitch Mallory Goetz, outfielder, and also Ella Morgan, which plays catcher. So we got 5 arms. All 5 arms are live. So that's where we're starting in the circle.
I know you've been with softball for a long time. That part of the game has changed a little bit, hadn't it, with pitchers? I remember we used to go with one pitcher, and you'd have another one that you would play, in games that maybe non-district, that kind of thing. But that's kind of changed over the years, from what I can tell, is you depend a lot more on matchups and that kind of thing, whether one's having a good game or not. You can go to the pen, you can go to somebody else. And that is that fair statement to make there?
That's very fair. Long time ago, you could go with one pitcher and have a dominant pitcher. Me, I look for athletes, meaning I have both girls play shortstop. So when one's pitching, the other one's playing shortstop between Caroline and Fiona. So I look for athletes that can do it all. Also, used to always courtesy run for the pitcher. So with those 2 girls, they're athletes. I'll let them run. So yeah, it's changed a little bit on that. Also, back in the day, it was if you had that power pitcher that just threw hard. That's what everybody was looking for. Now, we're looking for spin. Can she make them mishit the ball? So I might throw a girl that throws 48 miles per hour, and people are like, "What is that?" Well, she just come behind a girl that's throwing 60. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Tell us about the infield defensively, and I know you got some good bats in that lineup too.
At third base, we play a freshman, McKinley Hood. Fiona Joyce will also play there. Like I said, athlete. She's shortstop pitcher, and she'll play third. Then we move to shortstop. You have Fiona Joyce and Caroline Stevens. Like I said earlier, they switch in and out on the mound. At second base, we have Mia Bateman. Caroline Stevens also go over to second. At first base, we have a senior, Caitlin Carpenter, and we have a sophomore that is going to probably hopefully get some time, Brooklyn. Right now, we've had 2 major injuries to 2 freshmen that were going to really contribute to our team. One girl tore her ACL, and the other one her labrum. So that kind of put us in a bind as far as depth. Right field, we have Ella Cannell. She's a senior. Center field is Ava Flutie, a senior, and a junior, Mallory Goetz, in left field.
I don't know how
is Ella Morgan. Ella Morgan's our catcher.
How do you keep it all together, Perry? In terms of who's playing short, who's pitching? I mean, that's a lot of different working parts, isn't it?
Yeah, we look at matchups. We look at teams. Does this team like to hit fast pitching? Does this team has struggled with slower pitching? So we look at matchups and the batters. But like I said, we lost 2 players, and it really hurt. I like to do what we call varsity 1 and varsity 2.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call it JV, but I learned from Bill Hockenberry, varsity 2. I like what he taught me on that. Basically, we have 2 varsities. Well, right now the varsity 2 is not getting to play because I'm down to 15 kids. We started off with like 19, and injuries. It's kind of you're afraid to put them in a varsity 1 game because what happens if you get hurt, you don't have enough people to play. So right now we're fighting the injury bug right now.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to have the injury bug, I guess it's better to have it early than later, right?
That's what I was hoping. Have it now, and not at the end with the district tournament. Like this is we're having prom tonight. That's not normal to have prom this early.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about it and I look at it, it's not bad because now they can go ahead and get this out of the way early, and then we can focus on the district tournament at the end, so we don't have to worry about prom.
It helps scheduling too, doesn't it? The district tournament, trying to get people. I know that there's been a lot of hassles about that in the past. By the way, it's going to be a beautiful night for prom, so it's going to work out really well.
Yeah, we normally go to Hendersonville to the Commando Classic. Well, we stopped doing that because the prom is so early, and so we don't do that tournament anymore. But I was thinking about it. It's actually going to be better because now, like you said, you can focus at the end of the year and not have all those distractions.
Well, let's take a look at the district before I let you go here. It's going to be a rough go, as it always is, really. And then you look at the other side, and there's a couple of good teams waiting over there for you, too.
Once again, when I talk to you guys, Rutherford County, what can you say?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough district. I love it. I love coaching in it. I love competing with the girls. We love it. Of course, on the other side you got freaking Blackman and Stewart's Creek, and they got heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our district could be tough with Oakland and Riverdale and Siegel. Anybody can beat anyone. We all know that.
It makes it. I know we talk about spring sports, and people kind of go, "Well, that's a short season," but it's really not. I mean, you play 40 games at least, don't you? I mean, it's usually on the average, and the month of April and May are pretty much. I guess you don't see much of your family during that time either.
Yeah, we definitely will be in a tournament in Ravenwood. We'll go to Coffee County to play in a tough tournament. And then we're going to Chattanooga next weekend, next Friday. So when you play those tournaments, they count as 2 games, but you may end up playing 4 or 5, depending on how you do. So that's how your record gets up. And that's 30, 40 games.
And it also gives them reps too, doesn't it? I mean, that's important. I mean, you don't want to sit there and just play the average district schedule because you might lose some momentum that way.
Yeah, one thing that I've done the last 3 years, and I don't know people approve it or not, but we take spring break off.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you say spring break, a lot of teams play spring break. Well, I allow the families and the girls and their parents, that's their vacation time, get away from softball, and then we try to make a big push after spring break every year. We've done that for the last 3 years.
Well, that's probably a good thing because I mean it takes up so much of their time that they need a break. I would agree with that. Yeah, Perry. As always, I hate to cut you off here a little bit, but we've got we're running a little behind. But I do want to say we'll be out there soon to see the Rockville Lady Rockets, and tell all your family hi, and tell Pierre, and I bet he can still throw a curveball.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, and by the way, tell Valena I said hey. So
I will.
She helped my granddaughter learn how to pitch, and I'll always be grateful for that. That's Perry Lyons.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's Perry Lyons, the head coach of the Rockville Rockets. This portion brought to you by Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a huge selection of mouth-watering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings. Order your favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to support Rutherford County high school athletes. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them, 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. My team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. We've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the Law Offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door and hope you find the customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Las Casas Feed Supply caters to all homeowners with a 1/4 acre to several acres, focusing on premium feeds and dog foods you won't find in box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
And yes, you can even get milk from the MTSU dairy at Las Casas Feed Supply, the best milk in town. Las Casas Feed on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
Market declines, unemployment, oil prices. Don't let headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. I'll work with you to help you understand the impact of short-term events and how to be positioned for the long term. We provide the tools for a disciplined approach to investing. Call 615-907-7056 for an opportunity to discuss your situation. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSsports.com and Big G TV.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car, professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com. And we have with us this morning Barry Messer, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. Barry, I want to start out. Hope your wife is doing great and the whole family.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for asking. She's doing wonderful. My 2 kids, Bryce and Sophie, are doing as well too.
You know, it's going to be a little different for you because I think you've had that young man with you for 4 years, and so it's a little different take this year, isn't it?
It's been different, because he has been a player in our program for 4 years, and he's gone on and at Trevecca and enjoying his time there, and they're in Jackson, Tennessee, playing Union right now. So he's he's out doing his thing. It's it's a dad adjustment probably more than it is a son adjustment. But I got my daughter. She's with me. She's a manager. She's a junior. So she's been with me for 3 years. So just refilled the cup there.
Barry, I thought she was really born a Riverdale Warrior, actually, since, birth, basically. She's been...
Well, yeah, both of them were born on the field for the most part. So, truth be told, she probably loves baseball as much as anybody in the family.
You got a terrific bunch right there. I want to talk a little Riverdale baseball, and, of course, when we look at the district, I know we're going to tell you, we're going to say it's tough, but it is every year. I mean, there's no difference. They're always got really good teams.
Well, just baseball in Middle Tennessee in general is just a very, very, very highly competitive and, highly sought-after baseball area. So, anybody you play inside of our district or another district in the Middle Tennessee State area, it's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be a very tough matchup. Every night, every week, every year. It seems like.
Well, let's talk about the Warriors, and you know where I'm going to go with. It always starts with pitching.
Well, it does always start pitching. So I mean, I think you set your foundation on pitching, and I think you work around it. And, I think you base your offense and everything based on what you have on the mound, but. We have quite a few guys coming back. We lost a few arms from last year's team, but for the most part, we have some good quality arms coming back. We start with our senior Liam Goodhart, who was our, threw in the number one slot last year for us. He's a senior, obviously a hitter too. He's committed to Walter State, signed with Walter State. That's where he's going to play next year. But he's very solid, very solid dude on the mound. Jay Insani is a guy throwing a two slot for us. He's a junior with a lot of experience coming back. He's thrown some good quality innings for us already, and he's going to throw today. We play Bob Jones today. We're in Birmingham. I've been here since Thursday, so today's our last game in this tournament. We'll head home, but Bob Jones, obviously, perennial power in Alabama. He's going to he'll get his opportunity to pitch today with them, and. Then we have junior Noah Utley, who's thrown, 2 games for us already, and he threw against Brentwood and won that game. Then, took a tough loss on Thursday. Only gave up 2 runs. To Huntsville, we just couldn't score that day, but another good quality. But he's thrown well. Another junior, Landon Bird, has really come on strong for us this year. He's threw for us a little bit last year as a sophomore. Sophomore Caleb Rivas, a young guy, he threw yesterday, beat Sparkman in a good win. Another junior, Asher Poe, has thrown a lot of quality innings. Bobby Barnes, a senior, we expect him to throw a little bit. He hasn't thrown yet. James Jones, a senior, he's going to Tennessee Westland. He's a Tennessee Westland sign. He's also an outfielder for us, but he threw some quality innings yesterday against Thompson, Alabama, and then Barrett Cox, a left-hander that's thrown for us, and Hunter Moppin, another sophomore left-hander that threw against Thompson yesterday and kind of held them down for 3 or 4. And then they have a freshman, Matthias Goodhart. The Goodhart name is going to continue for another 4 years after he's gone. Yeah. So he's been really good for us. So that kind of runs down our pitching a little bit for us there.
Sounds like you're fairly deep, and that's always good because you can't have enough. That's the old saying.
We're deep, and we're trying. We've thrown a lot of guys thus far. I think we played 9 guys. I think almost every one of those guys have thrown at some point. So we're using a lot of guys out of the pen and in games, trying to get them some experience before we get into conference play. 1st of April.
I know. Also, you'll have some pitchers that'll be playing positions, which happens a lot in high school. Tell us a little bit about the infield and the catching situation.
Okay, at the infield, we'll start with the senior Davis Wilson. He's been third base for us, so he's been sliding back and forth from second to third. He's a Vol State sign. He's going to go to Vol State next year. He hits in the 2-hole for us, left-handed hitter. So he'll be a third and second. Then we have Noah George, who is a junior for us. He was a starter for us as a sophomore at shortstop. And then Liam Goodhart's our first baseman. And he's over there at first with Thatcher McGill, who's been DHing for us. Thatcher's a Chattanooga State signee. And then Lucas Evanston and Tyson Spinker, both juniors. They both play at first. Then we have Caleb Rivas, like I mentioned before, is a sophomore. He plays plays third some for us, and then Tyler Dryling, a junior, has been sliding in at second, about half the games for us up to this point.
Now we go to the outfield, and tell us a little bit about them.
Outfield, James Jones, again, mentioned him. He's our right fielder. He's, like I said, he's going to Tennessee Westland. And then we have a junior, kind of a new player for our program, Colson Underwood. So he's been kind of anchoring center field, super electric, fast guy. Both those guys, James Jones and Colson, both can really, really run. Left field's kind of been a platoon so far with junior Blake Willow and junior Noah Utley and Bobby Barnes, the seniors, played out there a little bit. Then we also have Elliot Getz, who's a senior that plays a little right, and junior Kel Foden, who plays a little bit of center. And then we have a sophomore Colin DeGrazia, who's somebody we're really high on. He just has kind of been banged up and kind of got a pulled muscle in his oblique for the first couple weeks of the season. So we're excited to get him back on the field and see what the possibilities there are.
We're talking to Barry Messer, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. You mentioned a lot of these guys going to college. I know you, and I think you are just as proud when they get signed by a school in college, just as much as the wins and losses. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think you really take a lot of pride in that.
Well, I mean, as I get older, I realize that, I've known it for years, but just, sometimes as you get older, you realize that, nobody really remembers your records.
Yeah.
Nobody really remembers. I don't remember my record for the most part. I'd have to go back and look most of them up. There are certain years I remember, most certainly. But, we're trying to produce these young men that, are going to leave our program and go and add value at another program and add value, in the workforce and add value as a husband and add value as a dad. And we want those people, when they leave here, we want them to come back. And when they come back, we want them to be embraced. So, as an alumni, so that's really the enjoyment. That's the excitement. That's the passion and the love that, that I get out of it. I'm more grateful to see alumni in the stands and alumni come in over the Christmas break or the Thanksgiving break than I am, to compete really in any game that I play. Not that I don't enjoy those, but, there's just I think tradition and culture mean a lot, and those things are really what describes it.
I want to, before I let you go, I want to talk. Nobody in Rutherford County, I know there are a few, like Coach Revis, but you really take pride in your Mac does. All of you coaches work hard. Now, a lot of people don't know that, but there's a lot of work to it. You have added some more, what I call goodies, there to Riverdale, and you got a new scoreboard.
Yeah, we let's don't call it a scoreboard.
Okay.
I'm trying to fight that old school mentality, which I'm just giving you all.
They don't get any older than me, Barry.
Listen, I'm having that same conversation with Limbaugh. He's like, I'm like Limbaugh. It's not a scoreboard anymore. We are in the video board business. We, but no, we have. It's I've had my feet planted in this community for a long time, and the community, the Riverdale community, the people of Murfreesboro are, they're the ones that make this thing go. My boosters, my parents, my former parents, my alumni, the people that love Riverdale. It's everything that's kind of gone on over there it's just been a vision, and people have just bought into visions, and they want to see Riverdale succeed. And yes, I feel like we've got a very good venue. I feel like we've got a very good place to call home. And yes, we've added a 27-foot by 17-foot state-of-the-art video board that's, just incredible. It's an experience. I feel like it's not only a game that people can see, but it's an experience that people can experience while they're there. So it's great for the players. It's great for the parents. It's great for, anybody that wants to come out. And, my philosophy's always been, look, let's, however we can make the 4 years here that they're here a better place and a better opportunity, and, give them the resources they need to be proud, not only while they're here, but when they come back, to say, I get that a lot, Coach. Why didn't you do that when we were here? Well, I mean, you just can't do it all at one time. So, like, you're part of the legacy that allowed us to do the next thing. And, that's but I'm not alone. Like, I feel like baseball people in general, and, I think it's moving towards every sport. I feel like people are just taking pride in facilities, and they understand, hey, look, it used to be called an arms race. It's not. It's just, hey, look, we just want good stuff. And,
exactly.
It's not an arms race. I know that's been called that by the media. It's not what it is. It's people are just proud of what they do and where they do it and who they do it with, and that's just the way it comes out. So we're proud of it, and it's not an egotistical proud it's just a proud. So that's just where we're at.
Well, it's a beautiful place to watch a ball game, as is most places in Rutherford County. How's that? I'll make it even everywhere around.
100%. Listen, I can't leave my catchers off. You skip my catchers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got to talk about my catchers. We got my catchers that are competing is Jay and Sonny. We talked about junior. We have another junior, Jace McKinney, who's, caught some good innings for us. DH yesterday had a really good day DHing. And then we have a senior, Christian Claus, he's kind of got a little injury right now, so he's down for a week or so. But he's a guy that's committed to play, at Southwest Georgia down in Georgia. So he's another commit. We're looking to get him back on the field. But, we're super blessed. Like I said, we've been in Birmingham since Thursday at a really, highly competitive tournament, and coming home today and then get back in the swing in Middle Tennessee, and hopefully those 40-degree weather that they're calling for don't stick around very long next week.
Yeah, I don't think it will. Hopefully it won't. Barry, I'll let you get back to your boys, and good talking to you, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
All right. That's Barry Messer, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. This portion of the show brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity online at MTE.com. That's going to do it for the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, but stay tuned. Cougar Corner coming up next.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Life's too short to stress about insurance. That's why Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance is here to make sure you have the right coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters. Since 1938, J. Mullins Jewelry has been Murfreesboro's trusted family-owned jeweler, helping you celebrate life's biggest moments with breathtaking diamonds, custom designs, and expert craftsmanship. From our first sparkle to redesigning Grandma's heirloom, we'll handle it all with care, quality, and honest prices big stores simply can't match. Expert repairs, one-of-a-kind creations, and service that feels like home at J. Mullins Jewelry, 1640 Memorial Boulevard in Murfreesboro, and mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service. From personal tax preparation to business bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes, at Craig's Tax Service, our staff is here to help.
Get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
As a former Siegel Star football player, I know the importance of the high school sports experience. Good luck to all county student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
I just really appreciate Danny and his whole team. I always feel like I'm going to get great service and the right outcome.
You just don't find any better people.
He's always been very good.
We've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner. It's time to talk about Middle Tennessee Christian School sports. It's MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and Big G TV. Stay tuned. The show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org. Dr. Russell McKissick of Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance talks about the grassroots effort at our local schools to ensure proper care for players.
To make sure our teams are covered here locally, be there for our trainers. Yeah, it's a passion that we have to try to take care of our athletes here in town and be there just to keep everybody playing as healthy and as best they can.
From a community standpoint, one of the most important things you do at TOA, I'd guess.
I think it's definitely a way to pay back to our community, just to be there for them and watch some great sports too.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
And we are welcoming everyone to Cougar Corner. John Dingens, Brian Barrett's joining me here. It's going to be a double feature today.
Well, I figure when you have a guest as big and as we do here in terms of, this
in terms of stature?
Yeah, stature,
okay.
tall cotton.
Don't want to call him big. Like
no. But, this is...
So we're going to have two. He's going to have to interview with two people.
Yeah, the cream of the crop.
Well, if anybody can handle it, it's President Matt Tiller, MTCS. And we have a list of about 100 questions to ask you, Matt, and are you ready for it?
Well, clearly I can see how this whole thing is going to go. You guys have started on laying it thick this morning. And,
well, we just want you relaxed.
I couldn't be any more relaxed, but all that double team. I'm honored to be with you all. Thank you for what you do for Cougar Athletics, and I'll answer as many of those 100 questions we can answer in the time that we have.
Okay, we've got a little program note too. After we talk to Matt Tiller, we are going to have, it's a double feature. Mm-hmm. We're going to have Brennan King, the baseball coach at MTCS, so stay tuned. It's a long version of Cougar Corner today.
That's right.
I am definitely the warm-up act, man, because Coach King is doing a fantastic job. So thankful for him stepping in the gap for us this year. Our baseball squad's off to a great start. So that'll be a great session with him, I'm sure.
Well, let's start right there, because that was something that happened really quick and a decision that you had to make. And it's cool to be able to go just down the line and somebody who's already in the dugout to lead the team and do so well into the standards at MTCS.
I really am so grateful that Brennan stepped up. Brennan, and he may speak to this himself, but he's got his son Caden's a senior on this team, a huge part of the success. And I know part of Brennan would have loved to have just been a dad this year, but we needed him, and he was willing to step up and lead, and Coach Carver's joined him, and several others have really rallied like our community does when we needed them to. And it's not an ideal situation when you make a change in head coach the first day of practice, but we are convinced that was the right thing for our kids, for our program, and we know God's going to bless us with a great full-time leader. I don't think that's what Brennan wants to do, but he is really doing a wonderful job helping this year be a great year for Cougar baseball. And they're fun to watch. A lot of talent on that team. They're playing hard and really off to a strong start. Got to win yesterday against a really good Tullahoma team and off to a good start in the district. So, but really am grateful to just see the spirit of wanting to ensure and love on those kids and give them a great experience, and Brennan willing to do that. And we're very grateful.
It's been a really good year for MTCS in all sports, really, and I know you've been a close follower of that. I really want to start with this girls basketball team, though. What a great turnaround for them. They had some injuries last year that really hurt them. Got a new coach, and they were just a game away.
Yes, so. It was a unique offseason for us. We replaced both our boys and girls coach, and I'm sure we'll talk about the boys in a minute, but so proud of Coach Shayla Farrell and the job she did coming into that girls program. I mean, we might have even had some concerns about having numbers heading into this year, and she not only came in with great energy and passion, but we still had some young ladies join that team, and really with, I think, 4 of the 5 were all new starters. To be able to put that together and have such a strong season. It didn't end the way we wanted to, but there was no doubt we were one of the best teams in girls basketball in the state, and maybe at any level. We played some big-time competition. Won our first district championship in I don't know when, and that might seem like a surprise. We went to back-to-back state finals, but we didn't win district championships then because we were playing that Webb team during the regular season in our district. So that was a huge thing for us to win a district championship. And just as it happens in the postseason, it just takes one bad moment and the season ends for you. But incredibly proud of Coach Farrell. She has done a lot of coaching, but this is her first time to run a high school program. And I can't imagine she could have gotten off to a much better start. And just really excited about the future of what those young ladies are going to do. They were fun to watch, hard-nosed, tough, really defended as much as they possibly could, and they could score the basketball. And it was a fun team to watch play. And we would have loved to watch them play just a few more games, so would they have. But only one team finishes the year happy, and we'll try to be that team in the years to come.
And you also changed coaches' boys, too, and they had a great turnaround.
Yeah, Coach Lawson, also a great hire for us, and brought in, just changed the culture. We were just a much more fun team to watch play. Certainly had more success. We were not an easy out for anybody in lots of ways. Lots of good energy. And what I love about him, as well as Coach Farrell, is they're also doing it in the way that we would expect them to do it, trying to really help young people be who God's called them to be through the avenue of sports and basketball. And so I loved the way our kids competed. I loved the character they showed. I loved the integrity. It's especially games like basketball. You guys know this because you follow it all the time. The culture around those sports is really challenging, especially if you're a place trying to instill Christian values, and there's just so much ego and pride in it and emotion, and our kids really managed that well. The boys program did as well. And I have no doubt that our best days in our boys program are ahead. I'm really excited about Coach Lawson, his family, and what he's doing with our boys.
Before we get into football, I did want to say Jason Piercy is to be commended for the job that he did getting. I hate to really say a lot of nice things about Jason Piercy, but anyway.
Compliment Jason? Is that what we're doing today?
Yeah.
We're complimenting Jason? Well, that's good.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while, but I mean, a lot of changes, a lot of quick changes, and it's turned out so well. I mean, it's just remarkable the job he's done, and you and to everybody that to get everybody on board and get it. It's not easy keeping coaches, and you guys have done a phenomenal job.
Well, that's kind, and I'm so glad you mentioned Jason. All kidding aside, it's a tough off season for an AD when you're trying to fill 3 full-time coaching spots in major programs. And Jason cares deeply about our athletes and deeply about our school, and has done a great job of managing all of that and ensuring that the people we bring in not only can coach the games, but more importantly, can love the student athletes in a way that honors God and is consistent with our mission. And I'm grateful for his good work. It's the AD job. especially the private school world is changing drastically because athletics is changing drastically, and Jason has done well to evolve to that adjustment and continues to be a great leader for us. And I am personally very thankful for him, I'm just trying to support him and hold his arms up while he's doing the good work God's given him to do, and he's really a strong force for us. I'm grateful for his work.
Well, I wanted to kind of piggyback on that, and we're talking to MTCS President Matt Tiller here on Cougar Corner this morning. You're seeing this a lot at even the public schools. The real need to have almost a full-time athletic director. You all made that move a bit ago, and I think you're better for it. But, I mean, it really takes someone that kind of focuses on athletics and keeps everyone, in terms of paperwork that's got to be turned in and just everything that there is to do with athletics in a school. It's a pretty big operation.
It's a large job, and I think – I don't know how much time we have today and how much we want to go into this, but as the culture around high school athletics continues to change nationwide and also in our state, it's going to continue to be more challenging, especially to try to accomplish what we think the purpose of athletics is in our high school sports, and some of the things from college trickle their way in. And your athletic director really has to be the front of that and the face of that. And really what goes unnoticed is how much time they spend, your AD, coaching coaches and being that resource for your coaches who try to navigate a difficult system. I mean, games have to be set up and all those things have to be done, but the real work is mentoring and coaching your coaches so they can be great influences to your student athletes. And that's really where Jason is leaning in heavy, and I'm grateful for that. But it's an interesting time, gentlemen, in high school athletics, and it's going to get more interesting as laws continue to change and state legislature gets involved in the TSSAA's work, and it's a fascinating time, and it's just we're going to be really intentional to make sure that we're still focused on developing young people, not just trying to win games.
And talking about ADs, it's not only just football, basketball, and baseball, but you're talking softball, you're talking tennis, you're talking, did I say volleyball? I think that's one of them too. And you've got a great volleyball team that's been for several years. But, to keep track of all of that, and I know Jason gets help, but that's not, MTCS is great for volunteers. But then you've got the Hale tournament that we only mentioned maybe once or twice in passing, but that is a month event, really.
Yeah. So just this week, this was just last night. I left the office and I went over and watched a little bit of a tennis match. Then I popped down and watched our softball team compete. As I was doing that, I walked through the gym and we had cheerleaders working on private lessons with our cheer coach. We had a JV baseball game going on down the road, and we were heading to the school play. That is just a typical Friday or Thursday afternoon in the spring at MTCS. And the large majority of those things I just described are having to be managed by our athletic director at some level. And that's not just high school. That's high school and middle school sports. I went last Saturday and watched a fourth grade group of Cougars win the City League championship in basketball. And so it is nonstop. If you love it, you love it, and I certainly love to watch it. I know Jason does too, but all of those things require leadership and management. So you're exactly right. It is extremely, extremely time-intensive and busy, but it's also rewarding.
Athletics is, for each high school, and you've got middle school too, and so, but athletics really is so important. And when you're a private school and people have choice, they look for things like that. So I know that athletics is important at MTCS, and you've kind of made it important. That's one of the great things you get to talk about with prospective students and their parents.
That's true, and we're very intentional about what those conversations look like. When we have prospective parent events, we talk very specifically about athletics, and we talk about it's our desire. If there's a scoreboard, if we're keeping score, we would like to be on the right side of the scoreboard. Otherwise, why compete? So that's really important to us, and we work hard in that regard. But there's also a commitment, a very direct commitment, that we're never going to let pursuit of winning compromise our pursuit of our Christian mission. And again, you guys are involved in this, and those pressures are there all the time. And we have to work very intentionally to make sure that doesn't happen for us. But no, it's important to a lot of people, and it's an important part of any community, especially a high school community. It's often been said, of course, we're in the South, so football reigns supreme, but it's often been said, if you're having I've heard principals say, if you have a good football season, you're going to have a good academic year. It's kind of interesting to think about the impact of that, and we've been very blessed with some really strong seasons. Probably, it's hard to measure this, but I'm going to guess over the last 5 years, it's probably been the best 5 years of Cougar athletics in the history of our school, and that's really exciting to think about how God's blessed us in that work.
I guess it has kind of kicked off a few years ago with the championship run that Christian made with the football team, and they've continued to build on that, and now that's an expectation. And then you have volleyball win a team championship, and cheer being so competitive. I mean, you're bringing home lots of hardware here in many sports.
It's kind of a funny thing. I do not intend. Please don't hear this as being in any way arrogant, but it's a true story. Jason was showing me a ring the other day, one of our championship rings, and I had to ask, well, which program is this for? And I know that sounds silly, but we've had several of those moments lately, and a couple of them at the same time with trap and cheer, and then volleyball this year. And so it's just kind of a fun moment when you're having success in multiple years and in multiple programs, and we know how hard that is. That is not a given. You can have great teams who do really well, do everything right, and don't get there. And so you don't take any of that for granted. And what we've often said is when you have success in athletics, your platform is a little bit larger, and we want to make sure we use that platform for the right things. And that's what's been so neat about our football championship 2 or 3 years ago. That was kids that have been with us since elementary school, and it was just so neat to see them work so hard. The volleyball championship, we may talk about that later, but that's a group of kids that were there 4 years in a row and just worked and worked and worked and had adversity and injuries and other things that occurred, and it finally paid off for them, and it was so much fun to see that. But that doesn't always happen, so you celebrate it when it does, and you continue working when it doesn't. And so it's been fun to be able to celebrate. I love watching our kids compete. It's just one of the joys of what I do. And when you watch them compete, there's going to be wins and losses, but you still enjoy the process.
Matt, you talked about how some of these teams have come to fruition, but you mentioned also it starts in that elementary, and I think Middle Tennessee Christian's done a great job of, they've got football programs for the younger ones. Volleyball is the same way. Their middle school volleyball has always been really good. I know I've got a granddaughter that played against them, and but it starts young there, and you not only have to have teachers, dedicated teachers and coaches, but you have dedicated volunteers.
It takes, I don't know how many volunteers. You're exactly right about that. And we talk about, we don't want to have championship teams. We want to have championship programs. A program means it's not just once every 10 years, but you're just consistently good. And I think we have built that in several areas. I think volleyball is an area where we've built a championship winning program. People expect us to be good in girls volleyball because we have been for several years. And I'll tell you, we graduated a bunch of seniors this year. The cupboard is not empty. We will be a competitive volleyball team next year, and some new kids are going to get to step up. But you're exactly right, and that it's a neat advantage when you can start building your program in elementary school, build it through middle school, and then let it mature in high school. And we still think that's unique to us, and we like doing that. But at the same time, in this world that we're living in today, you also are going to be adding kids along the way, and you got to figure out how to bring them into your community really quickly and into your culture, because we're in a world now with the new transfer rules where that's going to be a part of the reality we face too, is getting people in as freshmen in high school or whatever the case may be, and getting them up to speed with who we are and making sure we're bringing in the kids that fit our culture and are excited about doing what we're doing. So again, you're right, it's an advantage, and we hope to take advantage of it in the right way. And we talk about our head coaches of our high school teams, they lead the program. And so they set the tone, elementary on, and that's a great that's a great opportunity if you want to try to put your system in early.
One of the greatest things that I see about Middle Tennessee Christian, because I pass it, at least every other day, you've done a lot of improvements in the building, the campus itself. But you know what inspires me more when I drive by there? I see that little playground that's out there in front before you get to the sign. To me, that's symbolic of the community and what you're doing, and those little kids are out there playing every day. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that to me just kind of epitomizes everything Middle Tennessee Christian's doing.
We just added to that playground, and you would have thought we were taking all of our kids to Disney World every day. Our Patrons Association, we probably don't ever give them a shout out on this kind of show, but we have an unbelievably strong parent organization, and they worked through several fundraisers and saved up the monies for us to be able to add to that playground out there, and our kids just absolutely love it. There's nothing sweeter than elementary chapel. I love middle school and high school kids, but when you go down to those elementary kids and they're just pouring themselves out without any inhibition, and it's such a good thing. We do something called Alpha Omega Chapel, where at the beginning of the school year, our seniors walk in with a kindergartner. Kind of symbolizes that moment of beginning to the end. And they can stay connected all year, and that's such a neat thing about how you are the example these young kids are looking up to, trying to help them understand as seniors, there's people looking at you. You can be a leader. But then for some of those kindergartners, their first hero was one of our kids, somebody out wearing a Cougar uniform on the sidelines. And so that pre-K through 12, and now we've got our ELC on our main campus as well, so we're all together, 3-year-olds to seniors in high school, on one campus, on one side of the street, and we get to be a part of what it feels like to have that really, truly family community that we talk about. And it is a blessing. Now, listen, I have to confess to you that the elementary teachers and the preschool teachers get a little leery when I come hang out with them because I have a tendency to rile up their children. I'm a little bit of the fun time guy when I show up, and so they're a little reluctant for me to spend a lot of time down there because the kids love it, but the teachers don't necessarily. And
you get to leave.
I get to walk away. Yeah. It's almost like being a grandparent. I'm not quite there yet, but it's almost like being a grandparent. That's exactly right. I get to walk away. But no, I love our community. I love it, from the 3-year-old and the 3-year-old parents to the seniors and the senior parents and the grandparents and just the donors and everyone that's involved. It's a wonderful community to be a part of. I have said many times that I just feel blessed to be in this role with this group of people. I've asked multiple times, can I be an honorary alum? I feel guilty that I didn't get to graduate from MTCS. I feel like I missed out on something there. But it is a great community of people.
Well, it's a beautiful campus. You've done so much building in the last number of years, upgrading of athletic facilities. I mean, we could just go on and on about the great things that are there on campus. And as we wrap up, Matt, I just want to say your coaches are A1. You know, it's not necessarily fun every Saturday morning during football season to come in after, maybe you've made a trip to Johnson City, but Christian was here and talked to Shayla a couple of weeks ago, and that was after, a disappointing loss, and it happened to be on the day that team was playing for a state championship that they lost to a team that they split with and a big rival, but She was gracious to be here, and that's just a testament to your coaches, and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk with them and have this show, and most of all, highlight the kids in the programs at MTCS.
Well, thank you all for doing it, and I appreciate those kind words about our coaches. It is really important that we find the right leaders of our program so they can influence our children. I feel really good about our teams and our coaching staffs and the people God's brought us to influence our young people. And I'm not surprised to hear that, but it's always good to hear the reassurance of that. You got to be people of character in the wins and people that are willing to be character in the losses. And the most important thing about what we're doing in athletics is that God be glorified. We shine a light on Him, and that everything we do in those programs are fulfilling what He would have us do, and that our young people learn the lessons they need to learn. You all recognize this. You can learn as many lessons in tough moments as you do in good moments. and I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk with you all today. I really do appreciate what you do for high school athletics, what you do for Cougar athletics. You all are great friends of MTCS and for everything that goes on in Murfreesboro. So thank you for your good work. We're grateful to be a part of your community and a part of your friendship. And other than all that foolishness before we got started today about big-time guests and all that thing, otherwise you guys are pretty solid.
Well, you definitely are, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
all
Matt.
Right, guys, thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
That's Matt Tiller, president of MTCS. And, you thought we were done, but we've got one more guest here on Cougar Corner.
And I'm jealous you get to talk to him.
I'm telling you, I about teared up, especially when he talked about his daddy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Brennan King will be coming up next after we take this time out.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
Middle Tennessee Christian School Sports. It's MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Each week we sit down with the coaches to recap the latest games and preview what's ahead. It's time to talk about the orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner, right here on WGNS and Big G TV. Stay tuned, the show is coming up right after this message from our sponsors.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
We're back for MTCS Cougar Corner. Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance and fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450, wgnssports.com, and Big G TV.
And we welcome you back here to MTCS Cougar Corner, and we have a new guy here. Yes, we do, but he's not new to MTCS. Brendan King is with us, our guest, the head coach of the Cougars, and an interesting way that all this has come about. Really, I mean, you weren't expecting to be the head coach, for what I understand, but you're there now. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's as Jamie, stepped down last year, and I decided that I was going to just help out when I could, and and when the game started, I was going to be a dad and just watch Caden play. So
didn't turn out, but now you're going to watch him.
Yeah, we're still watching him now from the dugout, and it's been a good. I wouldn't say easy transition, but it's been it's been good so far.
I was we're talking off out in the lobby there, and I'm kind of it's kind of weird because I interviewed your dad so many times, and now I am doing the son, and there's no guy that I probably respect more in any sport than him. Of course, I used to send in some players when he was at Oakland, but he's I guess how has he? During all this, how has he been a part of your situation? Because I know he comes to every game just about.
He does, and he comes to every practice. So he has been really good. I mean, I call him every morning, and maybe sometimes I don't want to have the conversation, and he definitely of course he's been he did it for so many years and was very successful at it, and his advice is you can't ask for better advice, and he leads me in a way that, or gives me suggestions in a way that it may be some stuff where he said, hey, I may have done this wrong, you don't want to do this, but it's been very good. Having him around, he's very knowledgeable, he knows how to handle a lot of things that maybe I struggle with. So
it's good to have that, and he's got experience in any kind of situation.
Yeah,
I would think with parents, with players, that kind of thing. But enough about him. Okay, but I did want to ask you. I'm dying to ask you, since we have a little longer time to talk about your Dodger days, because that's going back. I know you're older now, but I always blamed Adrian Beltre. For you had a really good minor league career with them, and how was that experience as a minor leaguer?
Oh, it was it's something that I'll never trade. It was something I've been wanting to do since I was a little kid, and I get Caden sometimes when he was little. He'd always ask me, "Why did you not make it?" And it was you talk to him, and you got to be in the right spot at the right situation. And I had a guy that was in front of me who's a Hall of Famer, and
so I was really right about that.
Yeah.
I made that comment several times. I said, what are the odds of Beltre being there all those years? But the experience of being on a minor league team, how much different is it? It's like they don't talk about riding the buses and that kind of thing, but AAA is I would think a little bit different than single A or low A, right?
Yeah, it's when I get people ask me all the time, it gets better each year you go up.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It gets, and
you got married during that period of time.
I
correct?
did.
Yeah.
Kristen, in 2003 we got married, and it was it's like I keep saying, it was AAA was a lot better. You're facing guys who have been in the big leagues, and they're coming back down to but like I said, it was definitely 10 years that I would not have trade. So
never a trade or anything that possibly could have changed your whole thing, couldn't it?
Well, in what was it? Can't even. The years are starting to. It was after I was a 6-year free agent, and then I signed with Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
So went to big league camp with them, and I was having some really good big league spring trainings, and there was some talks about maybe making the team out of spring training, and then I know 2 days before the team broke camp, they signed Matt Stairs, and I said I'm going back down. So it was
when did you know that okay, I'm done? I mean,
it was I knew probably it was time for me to start being at home.
Yeah.
With Caden was getting at the age, and Kristen needed my help probably more at home and it was I always told myself I wasn't going to be a guy that hung on and and kind of that chapter in my life was, like I said, it was something I'll never regret or never take, but it was time for me to move on to another chapter. So.
It's a hard life, really, isn't it? I mean, it's not, people think that's you're in the, but it's a lot of travel and a lot of, it's not as easy as it looks.
Right. It is definitely a hard road for sure. And it's, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. And, it's, one thing try to stress to our guys is, in baseball, you can't ever get too high and you can never get too low, and we always talk about, we preach at that, stay in that even keel. So
yeah, there's a lot of games. It's not like football. You have one game a week and that's it.
That's right.
Let's talk about this current. I'm going to quit asking personal stuff. But I've known you for 15 years and I've never asked you that. But
yeah,
the Middle Tennessee Christian School Cougars have had great years in the last few years, and Jamie Carver was part of that, and you were part of that. But you've had really good players and good pitching. What are these Cougars? Tell us a little bit the strengths that you see in them that are coming up.
Well, I think big thing is we are senior. We have some senior experience, veteran guys is what I say, and when we talk about our MO, we're going to pitch it. I think we're going to throw it really, especially on Monday and Tuesdays. We'll, and then even on the back ends on Thursday and Friday games, our pitching is probably what our strength is. So.
And is it depth? You have more depth, because I know you've always had number one. But maybe the 2-3 or the 3-4, it may have been a little bit trying to find somebody to fill in that spot.
Yes, it is depth. I mean, it's all the way from senior all the way. We have some other junior guys who have stepped up and who have worked hard in the off season and I think are going to get some valuable innings for us. And then our freshman group, they have some really good arms down in there, and that's I see them helping us out too. But yeah, so pitching for sure is definitely our key.
When you see why is it that MTCS can produce really good pitchers and good baseball teams? And because you're small, I mean, in this, everybody wants to play other sports,
right?
But it seems to be a strong part of MTCS's creed over the years that the baseball team is really good.
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to Jamie. I mean, he's he has really worked himself to building a top-notch program that I think that has garnered some respect across the state. I mean, it's one of those, he's worked very tirelessly. I mean, he's put a good product on the field, and I think when people see that, I think that attracts and wants to maybe come and play for us. So
that's some big pitching arms in the last few years, and you get them signed to colleges too. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
it's a really good thing, Brennan, too, to me, that you and Jamie know each other so well and get along so well that y'all are able to do what you're fixing to do. Right. And still talk to each other, and Jamie will know when to be quiet and when not, when to ask, when you want advice, you'll ask for it.
Yeah.
That's a good situation to have, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, it was when they asked me, would you take over this? I mean, my first call was to Jamie. I mean, Jamie's a very close friend of mine. His baseball knowledge is, it is tremendous. I mean, just like the other night, I was telling somebody Tuesday night, he was in the dugout, of course, and we switched roles. I went to third base, and I always felt like Jamie was 2 steps ahead of me that night. It was, hey, we're going to make this call. We're going to let's do this, and it was very good. He handled the pitching staff really well. It's a good situation. I think it's a good situation for the kids too.
Yeah, and I mean, was going to ask that. It's comforting, I guess, for the kids, to know, hey, he didn't really, we still got him. He's still around, and that's good for everybody, I guess.
Right, it is. I think it was a comfort issue. It was, the first day that I told him, I said, I'm going to make some phone calls because it was actually just be by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm having to look, and then, of course, Jamie called Jamie, and he said, yeah, I'm in. Of course, he said, I'm not going to do it as, because Jamie's got kids too, and he's got
at that age
other age too, and he's got other stuff that he has to do. And then, I made a phone call to Seth Gardner too. Seth Gardner played at Murray State and really good ball player at Cascade, and he is a very good, young-minded coach, and I could actually see him, if he sticks with it, doing it for a while. So, and then of course I called. I got some other guys. Robert Prosser, who last year was doing the grill for us, and he's a good baseball-minded guy. He's coming in the dugout too, and Eric Culpepper. So yeah,
those are names on. You kind of used the ties that you had, right? And to get a coaching staff, that kind of thing.
Absolutely,
pretty amazing story. It's an amazing story in itself. But I was kind of shocked that they convinced you, because I know you've been under a coach as a dad for years and years, and I'm super glad that they did. But at the same time, you got your kids and the wife, and what made you take it? I mean, really, just the urge to do that, with the kid and everybody else,
I don't know if there was really an urge to, but I felt like
did they have to convince you, I guess is what I'm saying.
It was just one. Jason just, sat me down and talked about, and just kind of went through some different steps and stuff. And it was, he asked me, would you do it? And I guess me knowing those kids and having a heart for them, and it was just one of those ones that I couldn't say no.
It's really a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. Yeah. So
let's talk a little bit about the Cougars. I keep going back to you and the things, but the pitching, and then let's talk a little bit. Let's name a few names, and it starts with pitching and it starts with defense. And let's go around the infield here a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, in the outfield, we have some Houston Allen, who was with us last year. Good ball player, has really worked hard in the weight room, and he's actually going to be an arm that we were talking about, that we're going to need on the mound. Caleb Curry is another outfielder who actually he took 2 years off, 2 years off, and has come back as a senior, and it's one of those ones. It's a really cool story for him. It's one of those ones And you can tell by the way he plays the game. It's like it's his last go at it, and he's going to play like it, and he's shown that.
It's kind of like he relearned to love it, didn't he?
That's right.
Take a couple days, couple years off.
Yes, and then of course Eric Bowling's another guy. He's a senior. He's coming back to us. Probably one of the best athletes that I've seen. I mean, he's a really good football player for the Cougars, and he's another arm that's going to throw for us. And then we got some younger, we also got a utility guy, Tate Cantrell, who actually, it's a pretty cool story. He actually 2 weeks ago has just found out that he has a torn labrum, and he's playing with the torn labrum.
Oh, wow.
So it's he's one of those two, kind of like he's leaving it all out there and just trying to see how long he can keep going, and and that's been a very valuable asset to our team.
It's hard to give up the senior year. It's hard to give up a year in any sport, but to do that's pretty amazing that he's doing that.
Yeah. So, and then we got some some young fill-in guys that who are will spell us some roles that if we have to make a defense replacement in the outfield, we have some guys. Hampton Harville, who's going to be a really good ball player too, and we got an 8th grader, Jason Spray Jr., who's with us too, and he is going to be a special player. So
that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, yep. So, yeah.
Let's talk about you mentioned arms. Is it a situation too where, of course, I know in single A and double A, there's a lot of pitching. They play other positions when they're not pitching. Right. So is that going to be the case with Middle Tennessee Christian?
Yeah, we do. So the whole outfield I just read to you. I feel like 3 of the 4 arms will have to throw for us.
And is that where they go? From what I understand, a lot of times you do put them in the outfield, mainly I guess to save arm and maybe injuries, maybe not occurring so much because you got to have them. Right,
and it's we're fortunate enough to or if we have to put them in a DH role, we'll do that, and that is our biggest thing. Jamie does a big good job with that. We definitely want to protect arms. We don't want to put them in a situation to where if they pitch, then have to go out to right field and try to throw somebody out to play. Right. We don't want to put a kid in danger. So.
Right. Talk about your infield.
We got our infield at third. We got Brandon Scarlato. He's just really good. He's a great athlete. I mean, the other night I think he went 3 for 4 with a homer, and he's sophomore, he's going to be a really good ball player. And then another pitcher at short, Nate Fogel. He's at short and does a really good job. I challenged him to be, he's the captain of the infield. I always tell the shortstops, you're the captain, and he seems like he has really embraced that role, and great teammate, knows how to lead the guys the right way. And then at second, we got a freshman, Trenton Finley, who will have to. He goes behind the plate too sometimes, but again, another, could be a special ball player. Mm-hmm. And then of course, at first we got Drew Prosser played there the other night, and has made the switch from third to first, and has really taken that role. I mean, he's really worked hard at it, and. Great, really good hands, and of course, what he does with the bat. He's a pretty thumper in there, and Caden, Caden will play first too sometimes when he's not pitching. So.
Yeah. Who's catching?
Monday night, TJ, or Tuesday night, TJ catches, and then that's another. TJ is also, Finley. He plays short, and he's a utility guy, and TJ's kind of changed his role a little bit. He's going to catch for us some here and there, but he's also of course going to Radford to pitch. So he threw the other night and threw it really well. So he's another arm that we've added to it, and it's of course it's been a blessing too. So
Brendan King's our guest on Cougar Corner. It seems like, Brendan, you have a great combination of youth and that senior leadership, and that's pretty that's pretty valuable in itself. You got an 8th grader you mentioned, you've got a freshman playing, mixing that all together though, it comes up for a good combination. I mean, really.
Oh, it does. I mean, it's one of those things too. I challenge the older guys to help the younger guys, and I've also challenged the younger guys to listen to the older guys, because they've been in your shoes before. So it is a good mixture, of course, and that's one thing that we talk about. And if you asked any of the players, I think they would tell you, I'm big about a team, being a team atmosphere, pulling from one another, and not necessarily just in it. These are days that I keep telling them that they're not going to forget. You're going to remember these days. You're going to remember these days, and
you remember yours.
I do.
Right? Yeah.
I do. We had a really good team, of course, and it was. It's so, and I always preach to our guys. You can be a really good ball player, but you can also be a good dude. Be a good dude. Exactly. And then I said, I always preach to them too. It's how do you want to be remembered? So.
I don't know why, but I always feel like baseball teaches that more than anything. Like self-discipline and how you treat people, and because it's not always, if you bat 3, you're 1 for 3, you're batting 300, and that's right. You're always going to fail a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I think it teaches a lesson.
It does.
Before I let you go, I wanted to mention one more thing. You've all the coaches, I know you've had Lasorda, you've had all of them. I mean, a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Mac Hawks.
Yeah.
He's something really special. I mean, he's just kind of quiet mannerisms, but when he's mad, when he's what was it like playing under him?
Oh, I mean, it was, I still talk to Coach Hawks a lot. I'll send him a text message. He may send me one here and there too. It was very, of course, it was very good 4 years that I was at Oakland. I mean, Coach Hawks does of course, he still does his thing, and he's winning games. And like you said, you knew he set the, you gained his respect and his attention, and you knew when he was upset. And he taught us that and now there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to teach these MTCS guys is play the game hard, and that's what I thought he coached us. So
yeah. Do you remember the infield you played with?
I do.
I bet you know them by heart, right?
I do.
Vaughn, one of them.
We had Shane Vaughn at second, Casey Rauschenberger at third, Jason Sharber at first. That was kind of a split between
Jerry Knox.
I remember, I remember the outfield. I know from all the, I could tell you go back and it's like I tell our guys, I can remember more high school games than I probably do pro games.
Yeah, because you just mentioned that you're going to remember these games.
Yeah,
and so you remember just about everybody that played, and you probably could name them if I gave you enough time.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what you want to teach them.
That's what I'm trying to teach them. It's I stay in contact with a lot of my high school guys more than I probably do with pro guys that I played with.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean you go to their house every weekend.
Right.
But yeah, and the little reunions that you have.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of special.
So it is very special.
Brennan, it's been great talking to you, and good luck with MTCS this year. I think they're in good hands, and. Even added bonus, Jamie has to mow the yard.
That's right.
Has to mow the outfield.
An edge. So.
And edge. Let's don't forget. You know who's in charge. Tell him who's in charge.
That's right.
That's going to do it for Cougar Corner for Brian Barrett and Dalton Barrett and Danny Brewer. This is John Dinkins. And we'll see you. I don't know. I think this is going to be. I think this is our last show. Actually, I think this is the last day. So anyway, but go out and see some MTCS baseball. It's out there, man, and they're a good ball club. And you'll see Coach Carver mowing the yard, mowing the outfield because Brandon wants it too. All right, that's going to do it. So long, everybody.
At McCabe Vision Center, we have added a full cosmetic line to the services that we provide.
Dr. Craig McCabe.
We provide laser treatments to get rid of those little brown splotches, surface blood vessels, as well as fine lines and wrinkles.
McCabe Vision Center.
Make yourself look 10 years younger. Call McCabe Vision Center.
On Heritage Park Drive, behind SunTrust Bank.
If someone asked, what's your more? Would you be surprised? Well, at First Bank, knowing your more is where we start.